Good afternoon. What a crazy market, huh? I did a video yesterday showing that I took this position, and I mean, it was overnight, right? So we kind of had a nice little sell off at the end of the day. I mean, it started really at the highs of like London close, and then it just like dried on liquidity into Asia, forming a lower low. Once it happened, I knew that this range over here was going to be a support. So either I was wrong if I entered too early, I would have been wrong around that area. So that's why I put my stop loss over here at the highs of the supported area that kicked off the entire trend uh, intraday and into pre-market intraday to higher low all the way to a higher high to the upper daily expected move. So that being said, when I took that trade, because we're under gamma, I took it at 20 lots, full 20 units. It was a pretty damn good trade. I let it happen overnight. I didn't really think of anything else. The goal was to let the trade do its thing, and it happened. So that led to a beautiful opportunity. I didn't take anything else. I actually woke up very late. I had a headache and did not want to get up and try and find something else before the intraday. What happened is a liquidity sweep. It went to the highs. If you look, we went into a resistance at the almost at the upper value, and that really kicked off some bearish trend, some bearish liquidity uh, at the buy side liquidity. It just basically at that point they wanted to send a premium price, and the premium price led to a bearish engulfing candle right at 850. So 20 minutes after opening price, it just swept all that liquidity, and then they just started selling uh, heavily, and then it goes into a support gives out, it goes into another support gives out, another support gives out, another support gives out, and then you have a lower low. Once the lower low happened at 11:30, right at noon, we have, because we're under gamma, we have these beautiful extreme tick that leads into a bullish reversal until it can't, right? Until there's no more buyers. On the last one at the lower low, obviously after an entire 2.5% day, it had to melt. Not to mention, once it did melt, what happened? My favorite of all time strategy is the 50%. The 50% of the trend is just absolutely bonkers. It's one of the best strategy someone can have because it's always happening. It's not even a 99.9%, it's 100%. 100% of all reversal will be 50% of the impulse candle. If this entire trend is an impulse candle on higher time frame, which it is, right? Like if you go on a 4 hour, that's one big candle. What happened? It goes to 50%. Uh, where is the bottom? Is that a wick? Yeah, that is a wick. Yeah, that's a long ass wick. It likely goes to 50%. There's a high likelihood that it will go to 50% every single time. Every time. every time. And I mean, this could be your on a 2 hour time frame. Look where we stopped. Like you can't make this shit up. It happens every single time. It's one of the best strategy you can. If you're not in the trade already over here, you can kind of find a proper entry at the 20T on the hourly time frame and just ride the rest, sure. But if you're trying to chase this, you're gonna get screwed with. Like if you chase the bottom here, this is gonna stop you out. If you enter here, you're fine. You're gonna, take the whole move all the way back down and then probably exit in this range here once you see that this candle is retracing. But at the same time, if you are a reversal trader like me that likes to wait for a reversal, that's exactly what happened here. A reverse, then you have a neutral candle, and then it leads into a 50% trade. That being said, that's our lower low. You have the neutral kind of reversal mark. You have a V shape. Now you can see the buyers came in. It's all bullish volume on top of a tick reversal, extreme tick reversal. Now you prepare for a trade. And then my preparation for a trade is you go down to the 1 minute time frame and then you wait for something like a tap. So if the price closes above, you have a market structure break. That's a valid bullish trend into a higher low. The higher low confirms that it is a reversal, that it is done. It's reversed. They're in. Also, the tick is at a higher low. It's ready to go. Now we break above 20T. We're like, okay, cool. Is this confirmed? We go and fetch POC. POC is neutral at that point. It does find some take profit, retrace, and then that's your cue. You enter at the tap of the 200T on the 1 minute, and then you either use previous upper bounds of consolidation in the original trend as your stop loss. I like it tight because I'm playing like 20 units. If I take a loss, it's like, it's in the five figures. I'd rather just cut it soon and get out and find a different entry. You can either do it here, you can either take the breaker structure, you can either take the bottom of the range, but you want to stay in that range. Ultimately, if you're really playing a 1-to-1, you're going to use the original change of character as your stop loss for a 1-to-1. But I like anything above 3 at all times on every single trade. Every single one of my trade is at least a 3R by default. So now it bounced off. You're in. You ride all the way to the next level. That's the first level. But this one, because it did go in, this is likely a higher low. If you're right, this is going to bust through, which it did. Another higher low into a upper. It found resistance at the lows, which is okay. I mean, it went for that change of character above here at the highs. And then you had a bearish hammer, which led to a retest of POC. POC brought more orders, more liquidity, more bullish volume, and then right before the market closed, it rallied all the way to the resistance, and now it's chopping. Now it's pretty much done because the liquidity is gone, right? Market's closed. So these are some of the best trade that you can find. I mean, it's 458 point for Christ's sake at 20 units. It just madness of a day, absolutely madness of a day. This is the stuff that you guys need to do and take. Like I can't even emphasize it more. That's what I teach. These are the best trade in the world. I cannot even remotely stop talking about those trades. The best opportunity. Someone that's going to take 458 points on Nasdaq at more than 2 units is making a bajillion amount of money. He doesn't even have to trade the rest of the month. You just made a doctor, a surgeon, like you just made a surgeon salary in a single trade in one day, in the span of like an hour, 2 hours at the most. Madness. Just pristine trades. And a V-shaped reversal, you have your head, you have your left shoulder, you have your right shoulder, and then it turns into, at some point, it'll reverse, it's bullish, everybody's buying. You go on a higher time frame, you look at the volume, I'll be on 10. You look at the volume, it's all bullish, and I mean, there's a divergence. Okay, cool. You're kind of weary of the divergence, but the candles are clean. You have bullish volume. There's a bit of sell-off because obviously it hits a resistance. Previous day low, previous week low was resistance. They sold it off there to retest, and then they just went for it into the rest of the distribution. But the volume all day was very clean. Like the morning distribution was definitely equal weighted in volume. It wasn't ramping and it wasn't descending. It wasn't a clean trend. So because the volume wasn't descending, you could expect the lower low to reverse because we're under gamma. You sell into selling and you buy into buying. Once we did hit the bottom, we had a divergence in volume, but we had a lot of buyers. Like it was very bullish volume, so you could be safe to run it. And since I like to be safe, I waited for my signal and then I took the 200 T tap on the 1 minute. That led into an absolutely bonker trade. I'm so proud of that trade. It's the beauty of day trading right there. That being said, we did hit the 50% range of the descending trend this morning. So now what we can expect is consolidation into either a higher low or a lower high. And if the lower high does not find clean bullish volume at the point of control, it's going to fall into a lower low again right before the IPO. My guess is that we're going to form a lower low. This is not by like mistake. They're taking profit. They need capital. They need liquidity. They need liquidity to be able to buy this IPO when it comes out. So what they're doing is just they're selling all their position. They're selling everything they can. And so on Friday, we probably will have the weekly candle on Friday is probably gonna. I mean, it's still bullish. Like the fact that the weekly candle is still bullish, it's actually quite interesting. But yeah, I mean, on Friday, what we're gonna do is we're probably gonna hold that 28,712 level, and then on Friday we probably will retrace the body of the candle somewhere over here. I would say 29,562 or thereabout. It'll be in that the range of this candle here. And then we already tapped the 50% of the previous week. So we're going to close inside this area here, is my guess, off the back of the SpaceX IPO. Because the volume is still very low, we might actually finish the week somewhere in this range here. I wouldn't be surprised if we go and tap the 20 VDMA. Just like the previous week. And then if we do, then it's going to be a continued trend up, and we might actually hit all-time high again. We're still very bullish, guys. I mean, if Gamma is still way above, but if we break above gamma, we're gonna continue higher, which is 29,783. If we break above that, we're gonna retest and then launch for all-time high. If we do bounce again and close within this range here, we might have another trickle down. So I would watch 20T on the weekly or 50T on the weekly. 27,800, 27,900. I would watch that level uh, for a retest. If we do retest that, break under, we're going to likely go for 200T because that thing is going to probably come back and trail around this area here. So that's what I'm watching. I My week is almost done. Honestly, I at this point I don't have to take anything else. I could just sit on my hands for the rest of the month and not give a damn. I am uh, less than 20% of the portfolio into doubling my portfolio from February. It just like at this point I can just chill and not go berserk. But we're still under gamma. As long as we're under gamma, I'm playing big size. Once we break POC, I'll have a cleaner idea as to if we want get above gamma. But as of right now, I'm keeping the same plan. We closed the day with bullish volume. Tomorrow should be I think tomorrow we're gonna retest these lows somewhere there about here. This is our support. 540, 28, 540 is our support. That immediate support has to hold, and the price action needs to compound in this range to be able to break out above here. So as far as right now, that's the plan. We are all anticipating IPO, and yeah, just come and join us. I mean, we're making money every day, so catch you on the next